If you have a Jeep JL or a JT, we all know that you customize the lighting on it. And if you've purchased the Super 7, you've probably got one of the best light outputs out there. It's brighter, it's gonna have a wider beam pattern. It is a bi-LED projector, which means that it does both low beam and high beam. We've done a shootout where we've tested tons of different 7-inch rounds. This was one of the brightest. However, it lacked a key feature, which was the customizability of the headlight themselves. Yeah, you could go and paint the housing and whatnot, which a lot of you guys did, but you're missing that RGB feature. And finally, Morimoto's came out with an RGBW feature that goes around the projector on the inside. Let me show you really quick. You already know what RGB means. It's red, green, blue. It means you can use any color that you could possibly think of on a color wheel from an app from Morimoto. Now this app is going to allow you to control this ring light right here. As you can see, it's cycling through a bunch of different colors. We can also make it strobe, and you can do pretty much whatever you want. The Halo system boasts of 3-watt RGB and 1-watt pure white LED chips. I want to let you know that this is plug and play. This is plug and play specifically for the JL and the JTs, not the JK. It connects to this right here, which is your daytime running light and your side marker. Now this right here is actually an aftermarket housing from Morimoto. It's plug and play to that as well, so if you did upgrade these to an LED side marker, it is plug and play. Besides just upgrading the style, they went one step further and made it a switchback, which means that when you hit your turn signal, it stops being this color, then turns amber and blinks with your turn signal here, and then when you turn your turn signal off, it comes back to that original color that you had on previously. It's a really cool feature that you don't see very often on RGB halos for the Jeeps. Like I said, the install is pretty easy. I'm gonna show you that now.
First thing you gotta do is take the buckets out of the box. Then you're going to want to remove the 4 Phillips screws around the perimeter of the bucket, around where the trim ring fits in the front. Pop the trim ring off. Proceed to remove the 3 Phillips screws around the projector portion of the headlight inside. With those 3 screws removed, you can remove the center section of the unit. Flip the unit over and begin to install these clips around the perimeter of the unit, which will mount the halo. Tighten the clips down with the included T15 screws. Then grab the halo and snap it in place onto those retaining clips. It's worth noting that you may need to adjust the clips a little bit to get proper fitment. And then put the headlight back together in the same way you took it apart in the beginning of the install. Follow that process for the other unit on the other side of the vehicle and meet us back at the Jeep. There's going to be 5 push tabs holding your inner fender together. Let's get those removed. After the push tabs, proceed with removing the 10mm bolts. Once all the tabs and bolts are removed, remove the inner fender. Then disconnect the factory turn signal wiring. Then we're going to plug this harness into the driver's side jumper harness that does not have the single red wire for input. This is specific to the driver's side. Passenger side will be a little bit different because that's where the RGB controller hooks up. Now you can open the hood. From the fender well, come up right beside the battery with that cable. Proceed to remove the 6 push tabs to remove the front face of the grille. you're going to want to find the 3 10mm bolts holding in the original headlights. Go ahead and remove those. And then remove the original headlight altogether, unplugging it in the back to do so. Next, we'll be running a DRL harness that looks like this to the factory fuse box. Locate fuse location 34 and remove that fuse. Our DRL fuse tap is going to install into this location in place of that fuse. We're going to install the DRL fuse tap. Now we're going to install the Morimoto Bluetooth controller. You're going to want to make sure to get that barrel connector nice and tight to make sure it's waterproof. From there, we're going to pull 2 of the outputs from the controller out, and the other 4 can be tucked away into the cavity beside the battery. Now we're going to grab the Morimoto driver for the halo and install it into the headlight cavity by connecting it to that jumper harness that's behind the headlight. After fishing the driver's cable up through the back of the headlight, we're going to connect it to that jumper harness's main connector. Once that's done, tuck it back out of the way, and you can zip tie up any excess wiring. Then, make our way to the other side of the vehicle, and we'll proceed to remove the fender liner again, removing the 5 pull tabs and the 3 10mm screws. With the fender liner moved out of the way, we'll unplug that turn signal harness and plug in our jumper harness just like on the other side of the vehicle. You'll have to remove the headlight on this side as well. Remove the 3 bolts just like on the other side. And remove the headlight by unplugging it. Fish the jumper wire harness up through the headlight. Mount the halo driver just like on the other side. On the driver's side though, you'll have to route this cable along the core support under this panel. Route that cable through the headlight cavity and you can connect it to that controller's output. Then go ahead and plug in the specific driver for the Super 7 and install it into the headlight. It'll mount the same way the original one did with the 3 bolts around the perimeter. You're going to want to repeat that process on the other side of the vehicle, install the headlight, and before buttoning everything up, go ahead and test functionality of everything. Once your functionality is confirmed, go ahead and reinstall those fender liners, reinstall your grille cover, and you're good to go.
At Headlight Revolution, we love finding the best in aftermarket lighting for your Jeep. And now you can add some customizability to the best 7-inch round that we sell at headlightrevolution.com. We know Jeep enthusiasts will love this. We know it's a plug-and-play system that's actually going to work. So go type in your year, make, and model, and we'll see you guys over there.